Okay. Hello. Welcome to the Black Eye Podcast. I am your host, Michelle. Ah, good Lord, 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 Lord. What is going on? My equipment is having a good time right now, doing exactly what it wants to do. Not what I needed to do, but what it wants to do. Okay. What it wants to do. I'm trying to see if I can be heard. So let's see who's in the chat. I'll give it a few minutes because I'm coming up. It's just so weird right now. I should be coming up, but I'm not coming up. So I'm a little laggy probably. So I'll give it a few minutes. Meantime, I'm going to be showing my new little openings. Give this a few minutes to catch up with. It's not catching up. Not catching up. I'm gonna have to leave that one alone. So I'm gonna ask you to forgive the noise in the background because my husband is up there talking to his friend, and so trying to see why I'm not on right now. Okay, give it a minute or two. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm just gonna show you this. Hold on, I gotta. Okay. I think I'm streaming now. I think I got it. By Jove, I think I got it. I think I've got it. I'm trying to keep another screen here. But, you know how that be sometimes. Okay. So, once again, welcome to my struggle stream. Welcome to the Black Eye Podcast. I am once again your host, Michelle. It's been a minute since we've been talking. It has. It has. Now it was working fine before. Now it's just deciding not to work. I'm just going to ignore it. Really? For goodness sakes. Forget this shit. Oh, give me a minute. Let me take care of this. It's getting on my nerves. Me, that's so funny. Okay. I'm glad you couldn't hear me. I'm so there's nobody in. I'm waiting for people to come in, I guess. But anywho, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. Welcome, 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 welcome. Uh I was on mute and I didn't even know it. I'm sitting here talking and nobody's here. So, I'm trying to figure out what's going on, trying to work everything together. Let me move this a little bit. Camera's off. I mean, I should have set up early, but like I said, I was uh, not certain whether or not I would be uh, coming on. Give us a minute or two. Make sure I'm being heard because I'm not sure if I'm being heard. Am I being heard? Put a one in the chat if I'm being heard. Anyways, um, yeah, I started to just come on and okay, yeah, all right, here I am. So anyhow, I just wanted to talk about the channel, basically, just vent about that. And before I unmuted myself, it was about where the channel was going to go and my overall discouragement in where the channel was going. Um, I was ill. Had a I have a chronic illness, and it took me out for a bit, and it made me think about what I was here for. This sounds kind of weird. Why I was here, what I was here for, what was the purpose of my channel, and I began to, because you always listen to other people's content because um, you want to understand, and to, you want to get a feel of what is being talked about, so that you can have an opinion about what the subject of the day is. And so, as a result, I uh, I just began to kind of falter a little bit because you know, when I started the channel, it was about the manosphere, and I really wanted to change the narrative of black women. And I wanted black women to know that we were so much more than what we were being told, especially by the black manosphere. And I wanted us to understand that as black women, we contributed not just to our community, which in and of itself is huge, but we contributed to the world. And I really wanted black women to understand that, especially young black women, that we weren't nothing, that we weren't the bottom of the barrel, and we aren't the bottom of the barrel. And still in this world today, I want you to know about the greatness that black women are still contributing to this world. Even now, we are saving the world. And it's not to discount black men. I'm not trying to discount black men. But black men are the ones, unfortunately, who have been putting black women down. And so my channel, the Black Eye Podcast, the YouTube part of it, because I had a Audible version before, and that was about why is it so? That was mainly about uh, everything, politics, everything, and I really just wanted to come on YouTube to really just talk to young black women and tell us, look, we have contributed so much to this world. Don't let the manosphere, uh, misogynists tell you that you didn't. What inspired that? Well, Ken Samuels. One of the things that I was very frustrated about when I started this channel, this particular one, was that when he would talk about what black women had done or what they have contributed to the world. He would say that women weren't contributing anything. And I felt so frustrated because I knew, even though I didn't have the knowledge at the time, I knew that he was wrong. And he knew he didn't have to prove anything because he knew that as a whole, black women didn't have the knowledge necessary to fight him. He knew that we didn't know about the three black women who helped a room full of black men get into outer space. He knew that we didn't know about the women who created, yes, invented the heating system. He knew that we didn't know that. We lacked knowledge. And I really wanted to come up there and bring that knowledge to young black women. So that was why I was here in the first place. And then I became even more discouraged because as time went on, I began to see that we were all, most of us black women, were kind of saying the same thing. And I kind of got caught up in the same messaging and lost track of what I wanted to say and what my message was. And I'm still on the fence about where this ought to be, where this channel is, where it's going, what direction it's going in, and so such and such. So, anyhow, I say all this to say that I don't know, I'm changing direction. I may start a new channel. Don't know. I say all this to say that uh, what is going on? Why is that so shady? It just looks terrible. Anywho, maybe I need to change this. Okay, I can't change. All right, well, anywho, I'm sorry for that noise. I just made a mistake. That's what happened. I made a mistake. All right. Forgive my struggle stream, girls. Forgive my struggle stream. It is a struggle stream indeed. Ew. So, I am now I'm stuck again. It's late. It's late. Give me a minute, everybody. I I feel a little laggy. Yeah, it's kind of noisy. Anyhow, I don't know. I don't know what the direction of the channel is. I don't know where it's going or what's happening. I know there's going to be a shift, a change. I don't know if I want to go back into politics. I do politics on the Audible channel, but I do want to change direction and where the channel was. I feel kind of lost in my whole direction. I don't know what direction to go in. I mean, I know it's supposed to grow and go forward, but go forward where? That's the question. That's the question. Anywho, you know me, I get slow starts, then and then. Hmm. Okay, we're gonna start. We're gonna start with some videos, and we're gonna talk about some things. Give me a minute. I'm so sorry. It is going longer. Longer. Okay. Now, the last time I was up here, I had a really good live. It was good. It was one of the best lives I had. And the funny thing about it, I had to take it down because YouTube standards. I had to take my live down. I wasn't penalized or anything, but I did have to take it down, and that's discouraging too. But anyhow, let's look at some things that we wanted to talk about. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me, because it looks like my sound is kind of wonky, but I can't tell. Okay, I'm gonna have to take it down and come back up because it just looks weird. I don't know why it's looking like. All right. I had some. Well, goodness gracious. Let's talk about. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I know what I'm to talk about. Well, I was talking about content. I'm glad I'll do this at 2 o'clock in the morning because only 3 people are watching. But I did want to talk about more about content creation, and I want to talk about Black women in content creation. I was thinking about this for a while I was down and out, and you know, on my sick bed, and I noticed something about Black women's content that I didn't notice before, and I found that as a whole, women and men gravitate toward male content creators. And I asked myself, like, why? Why? Why is that a thing? Like, why do we gravitate toward uh, male content creators? Even though I subscribe to a lot of women, a lot of Black women, I support a lot of Black women content creation, and I just couldn't understand why. You know, after a while, as a Black woman, I didn't want to hear any more from the Black woman. Again, this is one of those things that you know got me a little discouraged in my own content creation in the direction of my own channel, and I began to realize that Black women, even no matter how we paint ourselves or how we express ourselves, how intelligent we are, how well spoken we are, how educated we are, as a whole, our content, I don't know if I should say it suffers, but I think that our content, well, I guess for lack of a better word, suffers because we carry burdens. Does that make sense? When I watch the women, Black women, especially content creators, we're always the ones who are talking about the community. We're always the ones who are talking about women. we're always the ones who are talking about uh just, carrying the world on our backs. We are always those people. We are that girl. And at some point, and this is what I was trying to say earlier, that our content becomes it we end up with the same message, give or take. Um because I start to ask myself, how many times can we tell young women uh, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram to get an education, don't get married too soon, put yourself first? How many times can we give that message out? And I thought, we really do carry the burden of pain as black women. And when you watch male content creators, black male content creators, I'm not saying they don't talk about uh, the burdens of life or things like that, but carry they don't carry the community. They just don't do that. Their content is much lighter, much more engaging, much more satisfying in a way, even though sometimes they talk about very banal subjects. Like, how many, I mean, really, some of the subjects are absolutely, positively excruciating, but their, their overall personality is not one that is heavy or unhappy. Do you follow what I'm trying to say? And so when I was thinking about content creation, I was seeing how a lot of black women, we come across as bitter or as angry because we just want to, it's in our nature to want to do better for the community. It's in our nature to want to give out something, be of value. It's in our nature to do that. And it's not to say that male content creators don't want to be of value. It's just to say that they don't think of it that way. They think of it, they're more lighthearted about it. You know, they're not thinking about, well, we got to save these young men. They should think about that more, but they don't. Um, yeah, they'll have a solution. Like, who was it, Sharon Bracey? He'll try to talk about different subjects and he'll try to offer solutions. But it seems to me like when I watch his content, a lot of what did he call them? The Rim brothers or these generate people will come into his live and hijack it. I mean, it makes it kind of engaging, but again, again, he's not really carrying that heavy load, not the same way as black women or black content creators do. And so I think that we don't support each other because we don't want, we are addicted to the truth, right? As black women, if you ain't speaking the truth, they don't want to be bothered with you. But at the same time, we're constantly carrying the community on our backs. Even though we say we're not about the community, we still carry the community on our backs. We still want to do well for the community. We still want to give to the community. We still want for the community. And I think to a certain degree, it drags our content down. And I know that we like to say, well, it's racism that keeps our content down. The algorithm is against us. And to a degree, let me adjust here. Ah. To a degree, that may be true. To a degree, that may be true. But it also could be that we are putting out something that, even though we're not trying to be unhappy, that in some degree is happiness. And I'm saying this because I'm lack of a better word, lack of a better term. I'm sorry. I know I should be more articulate in what I'm trying to express, but that's how I feel about it. That's what I see. And I saw that a lot, excuse me, in my own content. Like, it's not that I'm unhappy as so much as I want young women to understand that you're valuable, that you should take your time to get married, that you should protect yourself at all times. Um, but I wonder, does that come from pain or does that come from, you know, I don't know. You know, Cynthia G is back, right? And I was watching her channel a little bit, and she's not quite as engaging as she was when she had rage, you know? It seems this way that black women who have rage or anger or frustration and who can articulate that frustration and rage and anger can do it so much, they become engaging. But at some point, it starts to weary. You start to get tired of it because, you know, how many times can you say the same thing? How many times can you talk about pathology? How many times can you say that men are dangerous? How many times can you tell a woman, you know, to do these things until they get it? And it seems that men are more effective at getting their messages across. Again, this is me being totally inarticulate. I hope that you all can understand what I'm trying to say. Oh, dear Lord in heaven, dear Lord in heaven, dear Lord in heaven. Let's see.
It is time for me to begin my quest.
Yeah, it's time for me to begin my quest. Woohoo! Got my foot on the dolly here. I'm making mistakes. All right. So that being said, I think I'm trying to express something. Uh oh. It always scares me. I'm sorry. I just keep getting distracted by these little things that happen on the screen. Oh, anyhow. La 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 la. That's enough of me talking about uh, black women and content creation. Well, also, like for instance, black men, they were able to get their subject, their point across by simply just being more engaging and not carrying the burden, not caring about the burden necessary to help the community. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems that when I watch all the content, and I watch a lot of content, you know, TikTok, hours upon hours of women talking about men, uh, same with men, but you know, I these are just thoughts. I don't even know if this is going to be like anything that's going to be online. I might cut all this out, but you know, this this is what's happening. Like I think black women are not happy, and it comes across in our content. No matter how much we try to be happy and we try to put on a brave face, we're not happy. And when we're not happy, or the unhappier we are, it seems, it seems that our content becomes a little more, well, it becomes redundant. like I'm saying about myself, like how many times can I say the same messages as everyone else's? How many times can I do that? How many times can I say go to college? How many times can I say stay away from black men? How many times before we begin to realize that we have to that we're just not getting through, or people are going to do exactly what they want to do, and there's nothing we can do about that. And now we have to go on. We can still have that message, but we need to move on. And another thing, another point that I want to make: black women, we do take ourselves way too seriously. Maybe that is the thing. Maybe that's what I'm trying to get at. That black women, we take ourselves too seriously, and this is what could drag our content down. Um, because when I look at TikTok videos, I mean, we are, as black women, we gotta come up there, we gotta speak a truth, we gotta we gotta say something, we gotta be of value. It's it's serious. Even when we're joking, we're serious, and we take ourselves seriously, and we take other black women seriously, to the point where we cannot see or listen to a person who isn't speaking the truth or going by the code. And then, as whereas black men don't take themselves that seriously, or it seems that they don't take themselves that seriously. Again, I'm talking about they don't carry a burden, their personalities are lighter, they are, even when they're talking about Christian things or serious topics, they're not they're not taking themselves that seriously. Again, I'm struggling to make this point, but they're not. Like, it's really different for black women and than it is for black men. And when we say and we notice that the algorithm doesn't pick us up, it's because maybe we don't understand what it is that we're projecting onto the camera as black women. We don't understand what we're projecting to the camera. See, I'm freezing up. Why am I freezing? Yeah, we simply don't understand why, we are not being picked up by the algorithm. And I know that, like, black men, they get picked up all the time. They're not even complaining or struggling about not being seen or heard. They're just not complaining. They don't have those issues. But black women do. And it could be a like self fulfilling prophecy where we don't get picked up by the algorithm because we're projecting this seriousness or this message that this idea, this heaviness, this burden that we have to carry uh, in order uh, to be of use. Let me go back. There was a content creator I was watching, wonderful woman, highly educated, and she said that she wasn't here to entertain. And I thought, okay, like she wasn't on the platform, on YouTube platform to entertain. That's what she said. She doesn't want to entertain anybody. She doesn't want to, uh, uh, she's not here to entertain. She's here only to speak the truth. And I thought, wow, um, this is an entertainment medium. Like, men come on this app or come on this platform and they entertain, but black women find entertainment or entertaining their audience, they find that offensive, even though we're in an entertainment medium, because we're so busy about our truth. And sometimes I wonder if we are so busy thinking about the truth that we wonder that do we really understand if blah, 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 blah. Sorry. Let me get my coffee. Let me get my coffee. Now, let me go back. I wonder then that when we're so busy trying to speak the truth, that we think about the effectiveness of that truth. And I don't know if we think, excuse me, how effective that truth can be. Like, for instance, what's his name? Cam Newton. It was all over the platforms that, oh, Dr. Bryant spoke the truth to Cam Newton. And so I was like, okay, she called him out. She did this, she did that. She told him what he was and to his face. So I went and watched the video. I thought, okay, she spoke the truth to him. So what? Do you believe that he didn't know what the truth was? Do you believe? And he was telling her in his own way, like he don't really need her to explain the truth. But she told him, you American broke. You think he didn't know that? You think like he doesn't know what he's doing? He grew up in a Christian home. He grew up with a mother, a father, a grandmother. Essentially, he had three parents. Three. Three parents. You think he doesn't know that he is not living a righteous life? What good is that truth? And everyone seemed to celebrate it like it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I'm thinking it's only effective if he comes to the conclusion that, hey, I need to change my life. But he didn't come to that conclusion. Because as long as there's a woman there who thinks that he's a high value man and, you know, who wants to be with him, what does he got? 8 children by 3 women or something like that? As long as he has women who are willing to be with him and in his reality that he can mold and shape into the behavior that he wants them to exhibit, he's not going to change his behavior. The truth does nothing for him. He knows what the truth is. Same with Nick Cannon. But they choose to live this life. They choose to be this person. And at the same time, it's always black women who want to go to these people and tell them the truth. That's what I mean by we take ourselves too daggone seriously. This is what I mean. How many times are we going to keep going through this thing where we tell men what they're doing wrong? How many times? It becomes redundant. That's what it becomes. It just becomes redundant. Because after a while, everyone turns they get a 10 ear. They listen just to your background noise. The truth isn't going in or out. It's not effective anymore. And I think that women who like this is difficult for me because I don't really like to talk about black women in this way. But I think too that we're so caught up in trying to shame men into good behavior instead of turning away from these men and moving forward. Now, I know Cam Newton is a podcast and he's entertainment and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, okay, she told the truth to him. But again, how effective was that? Did it change anything? Did it make him go home and think, oh, I'm creating broken homes? Because as long as he doesn't see his broken home, so what? I don't say that we should stop telling truths. I'm just saying, how effective is it? How effective is the truth? And maybe we should look into ourselves to find out what the truth really means and what it is. Because evidently we don't know. We really don't. We keep talking about the truth, but we don't live the truth. We chase the truth. We love it to see the truth being spoken to others. But I don't know. We're so busy concentrating on that we forget to be happy and healthy in ourselves. And we say constantly as black women, and I've seen it across the platforms, we'll say, oh, we're going to shed our burdens. We're taking on our capes. We're not going to carry the community. We're not going to do any of that while we're still carrying the community and carrying and wearing our capes. We're still doing it. We're so, and maybe it's the people I follow, I don't know, but we're so serious. We take ourselves too serious. We should take life seriously, but not ourselves. And so the men come on these platforms, not so much on TikTok, but here on YouTube, and they're just more engaging, even though the subjects are absurd. They're degenerate. They're wretched. They're still more engaging because they don't take it all that seriously. Okay. I see you've been beating a dead horse, but I just wanted to come. I really wanted to express it because, like I said, I've been ill for a minute, and so when you're sick, you get to think about a lot of things. You know, am I going to make it through that kind of thing? But you also, I mean, like you take the moment to look inward and to just analyze what's going on, where you are. And I think a lot of us are lost because we want so much to be of value that we forget to really, that the value is being happy. Okay. So maybe I got that off my chest. Let's see. I hope I'm being heard because one time, like I said, I was in here and I was talking and talking and talking, and I had a really good live, um, and nobody heard me. Well, they heard me, but they didn't hear my the uh, the content I was talking about. So let's move on to another subject. Anyways, I talked a little bit too long about that. So I apologize if that was a boring subject and that didn't uh, hit the way it was supposed to. I apologize for that, but I did really need to get that off my chest. It was something I was thinking about for a long time. So, I don't know. Let's see what's up. Let's go on and do something else. Let's go on and do something else. I didn't want to talk about politics.
Well, that may be. But what we're all forgetting is anyone who doesn't want to go to war is gay. I want to go to war. Oh. Well, that may be. But what we're all forgetting is anyone who doesn't want to go to war is gay. I want to go to war. Oh.
anybody that doesn't want to go to war, we know, right? You know. I want out of wars. This is what I'm voting for. I'm tired of wars. I don't know why we're fighting wars. Why are we in these wars? Spending all these all this money for wars. Why are we spending money for wars? I'm not even going to talk about uh, Israel and all that 'cause I don't know enough about that. But I don't know why we are spending money on all these wars and then we're suffering and sacrificing. And nobody asked the American people, is, are you willing to do this? Nobody asked us. Nobody asked us. But here we are. We're expected to do World War II sacrifices uh for other people's war. So here we go. Here we go. Oh, 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 oh. I know, I know, I know. I didn't plan because sometimes I didn't know if I was going to come on or what was going to happen, and I don't know. I don't know. So
わがままを少しぐらいのわがままははいはい
あいつらわがままなんてもんじゃないでしょうもう
あんたそんなこと聞かれたらどうだって思ってんの
何ですか
聞いたでしょあんたの首切り落とさせろよ
それもっと嫌だよ
yeah. Gotta think of something else. Gotta think of something else. Let's go on another journey, shall we? Donald Trump, man. Donald Trump is funny as heck. He said, they're eating the dogs and the cats. I died. I tell you, I died laughing. I was like, dog, if they were eating the dogs and cats, maybe we shouldn't talk about that. He said they're eating and he was serious. I mean, it was so shocking. I just had to burst out laughing. I couldn't help myself. They're eating the dogs and the cats. They're eating the pets. And the funny thing about that was everybody went and checked that story out in real time. They checked that story out in real time. Like, real time. They went and checked that story out to see if it was true, whether or not Haitians were eating pets. My word. My word. That has to be I wasn't sure whether I was watching a debate or the Saturday Night Live skit because neither one of them, in my opinion, did a good job on the debate. Neither one of them did. Neither one of them. They didn't move the needle one way or the other because everybody's going to follow Trump, and anybody who's going to follow Kamala is going to follow Kamala. Kamala. Pretty name, but it's difficult to pronounce. Anyways, so I don't think it moved the needle any. I didn't like that sometimes the Democrats don't seem to play fair, and I just don't understand why. Like, why? If truth is on your side, play fair, right? Just play fair. Do the right thing. And it seems to me like it seems, I'm not saying that it is, it just seems to me as if they just, they have to put their thumb on the scale all the time. Don't put your thumb on the scale. There's no need to put your thumb on the scale. Just let it be. Excuse me. Jesus. If the truth is on your side, let the truth be on your side. There's no need to tip the scale. There's no need to give Kamala questions ahead of time. Let truth stand on its own. But see, it seems as though now, I suspect that her sorority sister probably gave her the questions ahead or gave her an idea of where the whole questioning was going. Or, because she was saying some things that weren't right either. You know, some some statements she made had been debunked a long time ago, and nobody fact checks it. And this is the thing I noticed. It sounds like I'm repeating the people's stuff, but actually, I didn't notice that myself. And it's like, come on, if it, I know another young lady. Maybe I'll do a review on that. But she was supposed to be the moderator. When did the moderator become the, gets to debate? When do you get in the middle of the debate? I don't understand that. I don't get why moderators don't know their place. Like they're constantly in the middle of the fight when they're not supposed to be in the middle of the fight. I don't understand why that is the case. I don't understand. There's no need for them to be in the middle. But they always got to put their opinions in it. You're just supposed to moderate. The truth or the whether or not the fact checking is supposed to be between the debaters. At least that's how I understood. Maybe it's something different now. I don't know. Maybe it's different. That's how I understood it. That the debate, the moderator is not supposed to be a debater. It's not supposed to favor one side. You're just supposed to keep everything moving. That's what your job is, to keep everything moving. But girl, when he said they ate the dogs and the cats and the pets, I was gone. I was gone. Lord have mercy. Okay. I'm back. I'm back. Anyway, I have to adjust. I have hips, ankles, all this thing. So sitting is not always my best suit. It's not my best suit to sit all the time. It's not. Sometimes, oh my eye. Yeah, it's kind of still swollen a little bit. But such is life. Such as life. Okay. Everything. Cam Newton. What else? What else happened this week? I made notes. I don't know where I put them. I made notes and I don't know where I put them. Where did I put those notes? Let's see. I'm trying to find. I don't know. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. I had a clip. I don't know. Have you all been watching Princella? I don't know why I keep doing it. I don't understand. Keeps there's this pop up that keeps coming on the screen and it's very distracting. I don't know why it keeps popping up like that. Let me see. I hope y'all can hear me and I'm not just sitting here talking to myself like I was before. Ah. Anyhow, anyhow, what were we talking about? I just keep getting these little pop-ups. And the last time I ignored them, I wasn't even like on or recorded or anything. So it's so weird. So weird. So weird. No, it's not any place else. It's just there. Yeah, I know. I wasn't really prepared. I this is the thing. I'm really just discouraged about where to go and what to do. And I know I'm like hopping all over different subjects. I know you're used to seeing people who come in with something definite to say. Oh, girl, let's talk about Candace Owens. That's what I was trying to look for. I had a clip. It was with Nick Fuentes, you know, the anti-Semite, Holocaust denier, racist, who was saying about Candace Owens, uh, given her recent rant on Zionism and Jews lately, that it wasn't a good look. And I'm thinking to myself, if Nick Fuentes is looking at your content and he wants to follow you, but he's telling you that your content is not a good look, maybe you ought to rethink about your content. Like maybe you ought to rethink what it is that you're saying. Because now she's been demonetized and suspended on YouTube. Now, I know everybody's like, oh, it's free speech, free speech. It is free speech. You do have free speech. But some free speech, well, some speech is freer than others. Let's put it that way. Right? Now, Candace has been going up against these Zionists and these Jews and okay, like some of her rhetoric, some of her what she's been talking about has been out of control, in my opinion. Um, she straight up said untruths about the Frank, who, some historical figure who was in Poland. I mean, just way out stuff about the Nazis, about girl. What the heck you want to talk about that crap for? There is like I don't understand the necessity talking about this. All right? If you want to talk about Israel, talk about Israel. Say some stuff about Israel. There's plenty to say about Israel. You don't like the way Israel's conducting things? Fine. You can talk about that. Talk about Israel. Talk about you don't like this war. Talk about what Israel is doing. But when she goes out here making historical inaccuracies about the Jews, and it sounds like that to me. I can't vouch for it. I don't sit there and study her content. But I mean, from when I did watch, it sounds to me as though Candace Owens is justifying the Nazis. Like finding reasons to say, well, this is why these things happen to the Jews. That's what it sounds like to me. That may not be the case. I will grant that. But that's what it sounds like to me. And I'm thinking, like I said before, girl, what are you talking about this stuff for? Stick to the subject at hand. You support Palestine. Fine. The America first. Great. The Jews are wrong. Okay. But to sit here and try to demonize the whole race of Jews, historically inaccurate, so historically accurate that even Nick Fuentes says to you, it's not a good look. You know, he wants to support you, but it's not a good look. I have to ask you some questions. I have to ask you some questions. Like, why are you talking about this stuff? Why do you need to talk about this stuff? I mean, the leave that stuff alone. There is no need to talk about the Holocaust. In my opinion, as a black person, we need to leave that mess alone. We need to leave that mess alone. I'm just flopping all over the place. I don't even know if this is going to be I don't know if this is going to be released, but whatever. I'm serious. I don't understand why she's choosing to tackle that subject of all subjects, of all things she should talk about. Now, I already know that Kanye West, the interview that got her suspended and got her taken off because Kanye has some conspiracy theories about the Jews owning stuff. You know, again, I'm all for free speech. I don't agree she should be suspended. I agree that everyone has a right to express their opinions no matter how much we don't like it. That's what the First Amendment rights are for. Now, YouTube has a right to demonetize her. They don't have to partner with her. But to deplatform her, I believe is wrong. I believe that to be absolutely positively wrong. She should not be deplatformed. The interview should not be taken down. Give us, the audience, her audience, the opportunity to see and judge for ourselves. No social media should be judging what it is that we should and should not see. That, in my opinion, is crazy. It is crazy. I don't know. Can you hear me? I feel like I'm not being heard. I do. Good Lord. All right. I feel like that is crazy to me. That is crazy. And of course, you give if she is wrong, and we don't know, but if she is wrong, you're giving her or her ideas or people who follow her ideas for all the wrong reasons opportunity to believe that the world is against them or that somehow what they are saying is true because somebody wants to suppress it. And I think that's just absolutely positively great. Demonetize, but don't deplatform. I think the way that was handled was wrong. But again, Candace, I don't know. It's like some, and it because these platforms keep monetized or excuse me, deplatforming her. Now she has the opinion that what she's saying is so important that nobody wants to know what the truth is. When in reality, she probably isn't speaking the truth because again, I've watched some of her stuff and a lot of her stuff regarding Jews and historics and stuff like that is inaccurate, which surprises me about her. But anyways, you give them unnecessary attention when you, I hate to say persecute, but when it appears as though YouTube is persecuting her, demonetize her. You know, you don't have to partner with her, but my God, like, no. And again, I go back to Candace. Why do you have to talk about this? Why do you have to kick the hornet's nest? You know where you are. You should know where you are. And I'm not saying she should be afraid to say whatever it is she's saying, no matter how inaccurate she's saying it. I'm just saying. I don't understand why she needs to talk about. I don't understand what she needs to talk about. I don't understand. I mean, what is the point? What is the point? Shirt's trying to come off? Okay. I just don't understand that. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. As a black person, I don't want to be bothered with nothing that's got nothing to do with no Nazis. I can talk about the current issue. There's enough current issues to talk about without getting yourself involved in that. Again, that woman needs to keep the hornet's nest all the time. I should have clips and stuff, but I know I didn't really prepare. I didn't even think I was gonna go on tonight or this morning. So where am I at? I'm at 1 hour and 11 minutes, depending on what, because there's a little bit of a lag here, and I can't quite understand what's going on. So, anyways, it's Candace Owens. That's right. This is the week, the everyday. Yeah, Candace Owens sitting here talking about this stuff as if somehow she's going to change history or turn. There's plenty here to talk about. You don't need to do that. I mean, seriously. But, I understand why. Like I said, some some speech is freer than others. How you going to say that Jews control the media and say that the way you say it and expect them not to control the media? You think they're just going to let you say stuff like that? Knowing about the Holocaust and how it all started with blaming the Jews? Like, again, I'm not certain why she's talking about this. If I just don't understand it. Like, if you believe that, then why sit here and say the things that you're saying? Do you really think you're speaking truth to power, or do, like, again, you're kicking the hornet's nest? But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be totally and completely wrong. I'm okay with being wrong. I understand that I'm wrong. I'm just thinking. I mean, I don't understand that I'm wrong. I'm just saying I can understand how people would say that I was wrong. But I mean, this is crazy to me. I don't understand why she would want to kick the hornets. I don't understand. I know it's the logic behind it doesn't make sense to me. Anywho, I gotta readjust my leg. My legs, my legs. I don't know. Kanye West, though.
I can save him. I can save him using this.
I can save him. I can save Kanye West. I can save. I can save Andrew Tate. I can save. Because the Matrix is after. Dun, dun, dun. How about you just go in the Matrix? I don't know. So. Did I talk about Princella yet? I don't know if I want to talk about Princella. I don't want to talk about Princella. I haven't really been watching her stuff. Now that she's like sort of happy, she's not as interesting. Now she's just like railing on women, which I find funny. Like, you're just sitting here railing on women. Okay then. Railing on women. It's your fault. You're not the victim. Blah blah blah. And the thing is, what she's saying is it has some truth to it. It's just, why are you spent 2.5 years talking about men, and you expect women to just flip over and be okay with you blaming them now? I guess if it works for you, right? I guess if it works for you, you know why?
To fill, 'cause ginger makes you so gross.
I love these clips. I love these clips. All right. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I know I had to get back into work mode. Get myself back on the algorithm because I was so not well. Mm, 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 mm. Do. I don't know. Dating. What's dating? What's dating? Is anybody in the live chat? Nope. Nobody's in the live chat. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm really late. I was supposed to be on about um I was supposed to be on at 12:15, but I really didn't want to compete with anybody else at this hour because I really didn't have a plan. I really didn't. I didn't have a plan.
This is just like my wedding night. So exciting.
So exciting. I really didn't know what I was going to talk about. I mean, I wanted to talk about everything because I had so much on my mind to talk about, but it was just going to be, you know, whatever, crossed my fancy. Touch on a little bit of every subject, talk about everything. You know, I used to work on my actual podcast. It was called Everything Thursday, and Everything Thursday was about I would just go through the newspapers and I would just, you know, um, go through the newspapers and I would just, like read the various articles about, little known news stories, little things that I thought was kind of weird. So I don't know. I don't know. This is just me, like, streaming, you know, stream of consciousness. That's what I should call it. Stream of consciousness. I think that's what I'll name it. Stream of consciousness live, where I just sit here and just stay in front of the camera and just talk about things. Because I think streaming is better, anyways. Editing takes so much time, so much time. It really does. It's too long, and I'm not a quick editor. No, it takes me too long. Even though you can use AI now, and I'm kind of grateful for that for a couple of reasons. Um, because I'm not just on YouTube. I'm on Clapper. I'm on TikTok. Just beginning to engage a little bit more on Instagram. So I'm on other places. So sometimes when if I'm not on this platform, I will be on another platform. Oh, and I'm also on Rumble. But I haven't been on Rumble as much as I usually would be on Rumble. But because you can't. There are things that I want to say in uh, and I forget that you can't really say that here in YouTube. You have to go to the other platforms to really do your political stuff, and then you come here to do your entertainment stuff. So I'm learning, I guess, how to navigate. But I am a little discouraged because I actually came on here for another purpose altogether. But let me stop yapping on. Again, stream of consciousness. That's what I'm going to call it. It's the stream of consciousness live. where we just sit here and talk about anything and everything. I'm trying to find something to engage us in a video about stuff and things. Hmm. Try to find something again with my dream of business. Oh, oh, oh. Whoa, 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 whoa. TikTok. TikTok makes you kind of crazy. Really, 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 really does. Really does. I think I'm gonna call it a night because I'm all hyped up on coffee and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and nobody's up. Dun dun dun. Let's talk. Oh, you know what? I'm going to touch on this subject. I might make a video on this, a whole video on it, but I do want to touch on this because this one was something that really, really touched me. Actually, it's in keeping with the subject of the day. I was watching another content creator on uh, TikTok, and he was talking about this very subject.
The being fixable method. Now, where a lot of people go wrong on this is they think that you can simply just be scum and things are going to work out for you. Well, that is part of it. There is much more nuance to it. Like if you're just simply scum, some of these people aren't going to want to deal with you. The key part is to know what flaws are deal breakers and what flaws aren't deal breakers. Examples, if you talk about not being loyal, that's probably going to be a deal breaker. But if you talk about struggling with communication, it probably won't be. But the real key part with these flaws is to mention that you have them, but never actually show that you have them. What do I mean by this? I mean, you can say something like, yo, full disclosure, I'm not the best at communication. However, when a situation arises where you have to communicate your ass off. But while you're communicating, say, I know I'm not the best at communication, but I am trying. I hope, I'm doing okay right now. And you can always swing this into some pretty natural sounding love bombing. Like me, for instance, I'm a bad texter. So whenever I do this, I'll be like, yo, I'm a whole texter. And the response is always, well, you're texting me just fine. And I'm like, it's different. And they're like, how's it different? I'm like, I don't know. Like, gosh. And I just brush it off, right? So in their mind, they're like, oh my gosh, Bryce likes me a lot, but he's trying not to show it. But in my mind, they're playing right into my hands. This whole fake telling on yourself thing does is consciously they think they're better than you, which we need because we need to feed their ego in this instance, but subconsciously they know they've never seen you be anything less than spectacular. But speaking of this, we need to feed into their egos more. So what you can do is start love bombing them in ways that aren't exclusively romantic. When they eventually share some bullshit philosophy that they pretend to have, like, oh, when someone does me dirty, I don't even get mad because that has everything to do with them and nothing to do with me, and I value myself, blah, blah, blah. Pretend like that's the most profound shit you've ever heard and not something that they just make up to make themselves feel better. Like, act super impressive when they keep blabbering on about it, like, oh, my ex, blah, blah, blah. What you need to do is be like, oh my gosh, can I just tell you, like, the growth you must have had, I find so astounding because I know I struggle with trying to get that sort of view, so I can't even imagine the journey you must have went on to come across it yourself. And I really just want to say I really admire that. This obviously gathers them up, so you eventually become the guy or girl that makes them feel larger than life, and that's always what you want to do with these healed people. Also, not be afraid to confide in these people a little bit. Be like, you know what? I have anxiety. They'll probably say some bullshit to you like, have you tried meditating? You should be like, no, not really. Doesn't work like that. They're always going to be like, yes, oh my gosh, you have to try it. Blah, blah, blah. Now, here's what you do you pretend that you tried meditating. And then you check back in on them later and be like, yo, I just want to say I was really stressed out earlier, but then I tried meditating like you said, and I've tried it a few times earlier, but it wasn't really working. But now I feel like it's really a positive effect. This is going to make them feel like you're getting better, and it's going to be their responsibility. They're going to take the credit for you, and that's what they want at the end.
So that's what I wanted to talk to us about too. Uh, and I think I'll call it after this. But this is some really scary shit. And again, just surveying the landscape of these platforms and all the content. Uh, like right now, uh, men tell you you need to choose better. Women will tell you you need to choose better. Women will talk to you about discernment. And the scary part about all of these things, these subjects, is that people really underestimate the power of deception. Like, really underestimate it. One of the issues I had with the church, uh, and just life in general, is that people do not prepare you for the dangerous world outside. I did it with my kids. I'm sure, like a lot of people did it with their children, because we're under the mistaken belief that we want to raise our children to be good people. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. But unfortunately, we raise them for a world that does not exist. There are people out there. And I did this with the Kiki Palmer. If you go back in there, maybe I'll link that video in. There are people out there who hunt well adjusted, healed people who are working on themselves, strong minded people to tear down. What does the Bible say? The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Now, you heard what this dude said. He goes for healed people. He goes for people who are pulling themselves together, people who have worked on themselves. They think that your spirituality is a joke, something to be ripped apart, something to be marred. We really, really underestimate the power of deceit. If you believe in the Bible, then Satan deceived a third of the angels in heaven. Every creature, every creature that is alive knows deceit. Deceit is powerful. It is insidious. It is, the whole point just happened. Ooh. The whole point That's so funny. As I was just talking about that, the whole damn thing just dropped like a stone. Dropped like a stone. Too funny. Anyhow, what I was saying was we greatly underestimate power of deceit. We do. And we're not really prepared to walk into this world understanding what it is that we have to deal with. Yes, it's about you. Yes, it's about spirituality. Yes, it's about, you know, but the truth of the matter is that it is really, really incumbent upon you to be prepared for what is out there. There is a reason why you need to wear what they say the whole armor of God. You're really people aren't. And it's so sad to me. Because you watch Christians struggle, you watch young women struggle, you watch young men struggle because they're not prepared for what is really out there in the world. They're not prepared. You know, I did that like before. I did that video with Kiki Palmer where I said that you know, she she didn't have standards because she thought, what now? She thought that she had oh it's camera that she had, you know, since she had a good experience in the world, that, you know, everybody was going to be a good experience. She thought she could do like her mom and dad and save her man from, you know, his negative behavior, love it out of him. And the truth of the matter is you just can't. That's not something that you can do. What you need to do is protect yourself, arm yourself. What is it? What is it? Believe half of what you say, or I don't know. What is it? Don't believe what you see, or something like that.
I can save him. I can save him using this.
Yeah, you believe you can save him. You can't save him. You can't save. Same with men. I mean, they look for people like you, strong people, so that they can tear you down, tear down your spirituality, tear down the armor, tear down your life. This is why so many smart women are, you know, get involved with these men, and the next thing you know, their lives are in shambles. They're homeless, you know, and here you are with 4 or 5 degrees, and you have nothing to show for it because you was in love with this man. You could save him. Leave that alone. Leave that alone. But I say all this because, again, we really do underestimate what it takes to deceive people. And women especially, because men know about this. That's why they understand the danger. Each other is danger. The inherent danger of men, because they had time to roam the earth and to navigate the world. Women, we haven't had that. You know, we're just really our rights, some of our rights. I'm older than some of the rights that we have today. You know, to open a bank account, to buy our own home, to rent an apartment, to not be fired and pregnant. I'm older than some of those rights. Think about that. I'm older than some of those rights. Think about how old those rights. Go look it up and find out, and then think about how old those rights are. I'm older than those rights. I was born before those rights could ever take place. It's crazy. It's pure crazy. And what was I saying? Yeah, women don't have, we don't know how to navigate. I love sometimes people like try to compare how what women believe to Disney movies. But Disney isn't at fault for those things because fairy tales really hard ass stuff. I mean, Cinderella had to work on herself before she could even go to the castle. Like she was a servant in her own house. She had to serve the people who were not her family, people who didn't love her. Then when she made her own dress, they tore her dress apart. And the only way that she could get to the castle was that she had to have a spiritual transformation. Like a fairy godmother, after she went in the garden and she's weeping in the garden, then the fairy godmother comes and gives her a transformation in order for her to get to the castle. The prince didn't come to her. She had to go to the prince. So when you talk about Disney fairy tales mean you had to suffer. Snow White had to get away from the stepmother. Stepmother's trying to kill her. And she still had to clean the houses of the seven dwarfs. Like, in all things, these young women, these so-called fairy tales where the prince comes and the prince didn't come to save them. They had to get away from the dangerous situation in the first place. Sleep Beauty, sins of the father. If the father had opened his mouth and said and treated the woman badly, she would never have been in this place. So Disney fairy tales ain't got nothing to do with what women believe. It really doesn't. Everybody talks about the prince. The prince came later. The woman had to suffer first. You know? And just to show you how insidious evil is Sleeping Beauty, even with 3 fairy godmothers taking care of her, she still got her finger pricked by the needle. I'm not saying we should be afraid of evil. I'm not saying we should. Um, let me put it this way. What I am saying is that we shouldn't underestimate its power. We should look it in the face and understand that we're only human. And we need something more to overcome it than just sitting around having powwows and doing spiritual meditation. That's all I got to say about that. That is all I got to say about that. I mean, like I said, this is stream consciousness. I'm doing the stream of consciousness. That's what it's called. Today at 3:50. I don't even know if my sound.
Bitch. I need to know if you're gonna start any more shit around my baby girl.
You can relax for now. I'm not gonna murder you in front of your child, okay?
That's being more rational than Bill led me to believe you were capable of.
It's mercy, compassion, and forgiveness I lack, not rationality.
Look, I know I fucked you over. I fucked you over bad. I wish to God I had.
Yeah. I don't know. I played it anyhow. Stream of consciousness at 3:16 in the morning. I don't think I'm gonna keep this up for long. That's the problem with me. I don't keep it up. I don't keep them up for long. Oh Lord. Anyhow, I don't know. What do you think? Anybody in the chat? Any comments? Oh, comments? My stream. I am best at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I know that's so funny because a lot of people are not up at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, especially not at home watching live. Tuesday nights are actually the best time to watch live. Not not o'clock in the morning. But then, sometimes that's when they get they get likes and stuff. They don't, you know. Now I'm getting tired. Now I'm getting wonky a little bit. Ba, 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 ba. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Anyhow, just wait a little bit and let me tell you something, y'all. I want to thank the people who come down by weekly to watch me. I appreciate y'all. I really do. Even to get one person to come and watch your content week after week and to like it or not like it, I wish y'all would comment, but I appreciate that you come and watch. Thank you. Because I know how hard it is to get just one person to listen to you, one person to get you, hopefully somebody to get you. But thank you for listening to me. Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for everything. Do appreciate it. And really, to be honest with you, you all are the reason why I'm still here doing this because I probably would have quit a long time ago considering things, but you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I had no plans. I just wanted to come up and just do whatever, talk about whatever, be whatever. So I don't know what direction. I might keep it in the same vein that it's in, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm having my quiet moment, my downtime. I guess this is a good time to end the live stream. I'll probably keep it up for another 24 hours or so and then I'll let it go. But thank you so much again for being here with me tonight. Listening to me. Me. It sounds so self-centered and myopic, but I really do just want to share things with people and have conversations with people. That's really what I want to do and bounce ideas off people. I really enjoy that. I really do. But sometimes it's so difficult to connect, and I do need to like set a schedule for myself and keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. Anyways, you have a good morning. I'll see you hopefully. I'll see you next week with more content. I have a lot that I want to talk about and interesting directions that I want to take these this channel to, and hopefully connect with the audience more and engage in more interesting, definitely interesting conversations with you. So, with that being said, what is it they say? Love, luck, and lollipops. And good morning, good night, and good evening.